there's gravity, there's all these forces going on in what we're in, but we're not of that. Yeah. So that, what is that but a negation? Yes. There's a description of what we're not. So in a way, there's a description of the world that we feel we're in, and then there's a negation of that world by we're not of it. Yeah, it's a beautiful negation. So here we try to describe the activities that imply a noun, a historical, long-lasting, independent, separate object that takes itself to be, or is used to take itself to be a subject. Yes, that's the confusion. So by seeing what we're not, we find out what we are. Instead of trying to find out what we are through what we're not, we see we're not that which we're trying to find out what we are through, and we find out what we are. Yeah, and there's no, it doesn't boomerang back. It's not like something. The invitation can be repeated, but the fact doesn't repeat itself. It just is. Yeah, and so you've seen through a lot of the assumptions or the presupposing, as Ramana calls it, the one basic one, which is that presupposing, and the pre is so important in the explanation, because it's true that we're under a huge influence of time here. Like the concoction that we are gets sort of agitated by this idea of time, and the time is felt, and we believe that it's linear. Yeah, it's just a belief that there was a past, there's a present that something's moving through, inexorably to a future. So with that being a very solid programming, if something used that trick, if they use something, if they, it's like that thing with the P and the three things. Yeah. If there's past, present, and future, and then a magician just went like this and moved, and then what came after was now before, we'd be fooled every time. We'd pick the wrong cup. Yes. Why? Not because we can't see, but how we're being defined by a form of looking. And in that form of looking, time is an inexorable movement forward, past, present, future. There's no future. It's not like you shake it up and throw it like a pair of dice or three dice, and it's like past, present, future, past, present, future, future, past, present. No. So when something changes that, we don't see it. So that which is presupposed to be before was really a product of something called claiming that came after. Yes. So the whole game board, because the game board, there isn't a game board. It's pictured from where we are. So when where we are gets shifted, we see everything differently. Yeah. We see up as down and down is up. We see false evidence as real. All this stuff starts coming on, and we are in a certain trance that we set off more like, it's sort of like a pebble in the water, that it sets off this thing on and on and on. And we get more and more confused the less and less we want to be confused. We get more and more confused because we run into this conundrum. I can't use what I am to find what I am. Yeah. And it goes against, we just keep backing up. Like self is an incredible, the idea of selfing, I could be off, but as far as I've seen it, the selfing doesn't get this simple statement, self can't get out of self. It just doesn't get it. So if it doesn't work one way, it backs up and gets in it's going to run into the same wall, but it thinks it has a chance by a different vehicle. Yeah. So it's in the toilet, it runs into the wall, backs up, gets into a Dodge, runs into the wall, gets it. Oh, the Rolls Royce definitely runs into the wall, and it just won't get it. Yeah. And the reason why it keeps getting fueled is, okay, maybe over the years, it becomes clear that something is fucking with it, or something is like steering is grabbing the steering wheel. Something is causing the tire to turn extremely left or something. All right, so we call that self. And now I want to get out of that because I feel that that is the problem. That's the unrest, the irritability, and the discontent. So if I get out of it, I won't have unrest, irritability, and discontent. I'll have the opposite. Yet, so I objectify self, which actually it's objectifying selfing. We objectify selfing, call it self, and then as Paul, I want to get out of self, but Paul is the act of is selfing. Yeah, Paul isn't Paul. Paul is the idea of Paul. Yeah, so and you can talk to your blue in the face and warning and telling Paul self can't get out of self, and it doesn't fucking get it because it doesn't see itself as self. It sees itself as Paul. And Paul should be able to leave something that Paul isn't. Yeah. But the fact is, Paul is of the selfing. Therefore, it can't use the selfing to get out of the selfing. Yeah. It's all part of the selfing. Yes. Like when people say they're the observer, they're not observing shit. Yeah. There's a lot of observing, but there's no observer. Yeah. There's just observing. There's just seeing. There's just realizing. There's no realizer or seer. So this whole thing is we're trying to describe like that little, I lost when I went to Barcelona. I was walking down the Ramblas. Somebody was playing this thing and I thought, oh, I can do it. I lost 50 euros like that in a second. They just switched around. I thought I could follow it. I said, nope, wrong, 50 bucks. So I'm never going to do that again. Yeah. But the fact is, it's so quick to claiming, yeah, that the selfing will claim it's never going to never do selfing again. Yeah. And then on and on and on and on and on. And the more that's revealed, it's going to claim that aperture setting, yeah, which is the seeing, and say it's the seer. So as soon as the thief comes into the light, the policeman shows up. It's funny, yeah. So I just want to pound away at it because it's not about doing anything. You got enough shit to do, yeah. This is about just having a reflection on the undercurrents of what you call your whole life. You know, you've got to feel something underneath your feet. It's, you know, we're not that far out to lunch, I hope. I mean, does the thought system, just listen to it for 5 minutes, yeah? Does the thought system just take as a fact that the perceived is what's perceiving, yeah? It goes completely against the statement of Huang Po. Now, you don't know Huang Po from anybody, but let's say Huang Po, I feel, is a great master. So he said a very simple statement: whatever can be perceived, all right, that's every one of us, can't be perceiving. Now, listen to the head. It's one of its main assumptions is what can be perceived is what's perceiving. The language is constantly saying, after the event of seeing, that you're the seer, the body. I mean, why would you want to move to like a secondary class? Why wouldn't you want to see the fundamental the basis of how we're living, you know, what we're standing on? And question that, because maybe it's not, obviously in Buddhism, they say everything is inherently empty. So it doesn't have a reality in and of itself. Yeah, it's given meaning. Yes. So where is that meaning coming from? The tree isn't telling me it's an oak tree. Yeah. I tell myself that's an oak tree. The tree is not saying shit. Yeah. So basically, it seems like if there is a dreaming, we seem to be at the sort of mouth of it. Yes. I feel like we're the vessel for a lot of meaning to be given to a lot of shit. Yeah. like it's captured in the Course in Miracles, lesson 2. Hey, it's not saying like an order, you and I, it says you and I are giving everything all the meaning it has. What? Yeah. Like put that on for a second. Yeah. Just see, okay, I'm going to slip my one leg into that all and then put the other leg into the everything. It's ready. I'm in it completely. You know, I'm giving everything all the meaning it has. Maybe the idea of Paul is one of the meanings that's been given. Yeah. Yeah. So this body has been given the name Paul and given a lot of meaning, obviously. Some of them could be construed as the center of the universe. I may not be much, but I'm all I think about. It tends to be, you know, the most prized object in the world of objects. Yes. I mean, I don't give a shit if you're having a bad day, but if I'm having a bad day, fuck, that's earth shattering. Yeah. I'm going to call everyone else and tell them. So obviously there's something going on. Let's get down to the basics, eh? Yeah. This isn't like, you know, one of those knives that has 5 different things in it. It's a negation, non-duality. It's negating two-ness. Now, if you don't want to know what two-ness is, maybe it'd be nice to get a basic understanding of it so that you can recognize the underlying two-ness of everything here. Yes, subject, object, day, night, close, far. The systems, the brain seems to work in a binary system. Yes, so you start getting a feeling of this two-ness. Why? So that then there's a juicy negation of it. Yes. The understanding allows a sense of I mean, the understanding is alive, you know, the message is alive. It's got a pulse. So you recognize it yourself. You see, Jesus, look at this span of life. I was a down and out drug addict, and now I'm a recovered person. That's a pretty incredible dualistic swing. I was this, and then I seem to be this. I'm neither, obviously, but it went this way and this way. Doesn't everything go like that? Yeah. Like I remember I share it a lot. You know, I had a Tai Chi teacher when I was younger, and sometimes I would be feeling bad for a few weeks, and I'd call him up to see if I'd get some help. Yeah. So he'd say, as soon as I said, man, everything's sucking for the last month or so, he'd say, congratulations, man. And I go, what? Yeah, it's going to be better soon, obviously. And then when I was going really great, he said, I'm sorry. Yeah, because it's not going to go well soon. So basically, there's a swing here. Yeah. Why would you want to base a long-lasting, independent, separate entity on that seesaw? Why? Yeah. And knowing that you give everything all the meaning it has. So when the seesaw is like this and you're here and you want to get there and you think the only way you're going to get there is moving. And then when you get there, it goes down and then down. Yes. There's no freaking escape. The lightness that you're hoping for becomes heavy as soon as you arrive. Yeah. Here's the seesaw. You're here. I don't like it. I'm going to go here. You can never get that. You can never stay here. It goes, and hopefully 2 and 2 makes 4. You see, wait a minute. As soon as I get involved, things change. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And if I have a lot of vested interest in promoting myself, it may do the exact opposite that I'm hoping for. What? Yes. So let's realize something, maybe. Let's realize the seeming predicament we're in. Our seeming condition is based on outside conditions. If I have that, like my mother at a certain point in my life, we didn't talk much at all. I'd come home from months away, and she'd say, Paul, do you have a haircut before I get there? Yes. And are you working? Yes. That's all she wanted to know. Do I have a haircut and am I working? Didn't care how I felt. That was just basically it. Yeah. So her condition, her idea of my condition was based on that. Outside. Yeah. Now, outside conditions are volatile. Yes. You can't seem to control a lot of shit. Yet it seems like a necessity. If you're going to have a stable condition, you have to try to make outer conditions stable, which that's not their nature. Yeah. So basically, it's like being on a seesaw and trying to get a 5 blocks, 5 things, and then hold it. Yeah, it's not gonna be reliable. But what about if you're not that long-lasting, independent, separate entity? That maybe you are of context, that you are of all. Yeah. And just a few drops of that dropping into what you seem to be in will bring a lightness that you'll never find here. You'll be the bearer of the lightness, not the finder of the light. Yeah. So the seeker is the sought. Is that true or not for you? Is whatever can be perceived can't be perceiving? That seems obvious. Yeah. Everything is inherently empty. It's given meaning through us. Yeah. Some people have they've had a belief, and maybe they've had an event in their life that they called the worst thing that ever happened for years. And then suddenly something happens to their life and it turned into the best thing that happened. Yeah. Like a lot of people, the worst night I ever had is when the cops pulled me over. But then if they get sober, they go, well, I wouldn't have gotten sober unless I got pulled over by the cops. So actually it was the best thing that ever happened. Yeah. What was it? Was it the worst thing or the best thing? It's based on our condition. Yeah. Really. So, yeah, so let's go. Open up, eh?
Anybody want to raise their hand?
It's working for John W. He's asleep now. That's good. He came back. JP's looking good. We got PK. John R. I hope you're all right in there, John, wherever you are. Somebody, we got Josh S. James Lebowski, probably. Oh, Taj. Not of the Mahal family. It's Taj, just Taj. We got James. James is in boxes, but not of boxes. Just remember that, James. You're surrounded by boxes, but you're not in a box. You're not of a box. Anyone? No? Oh, great. Oh, there's Z. And Janine, nice to see you too. Yes?
Hey, Paul, this is Anu. I couldn't figure out how to raise my hands. I'm just going to unmute myself. I'm not sure. Yeah, how are you?
Good.
You know what you just said about the policeman and the thief? It just seems so like central and fundamental. I think I've heard you talk about this almost at every meeting. And it just seems to be that's a pivot everything turns on, is that most of our thoughts seem to be involved in, either, creating the guilt or feeling guilty about feeling the guilt. There's always, that going on in the mind. And I think after I've been listening to you for many months now, and there's been like a noticing of what's going on many times. And it's amazing. It's like, it happens once and then again the system regroups, and again it just gets behind whatever I've noticed. still, there's another level to go there. So, and I've never heard this message from anyone else. I think it's amazing. And the second thing, which is I realized, is that many times some thoughts arise that like really led me to do certain things, but there was no reason for that thought to come up. And I'm realizing that my thoughts are not my own. Because there was no reason for that thought to come up, and I did something because that thought came up and either regretted it or worked out really good. I think it's, we just, I realize I'm just leaving it up to, a higher power, what comes my way. It's not under my control. And it's actually a huge relief. All I can do is notice it maybe, so.
Great, Anu. Yes. Relief is the best teacher, really. It tells you why you didn't have relief. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, every time in a way there's a seeing of the system, it weakens it. It does. Because it's, in a way, it sort of has falsely claimed our light as its light, yeah? And so when we see it, there's a taking back of the light, so to speak. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So those aren't just because it shows up again, doesn't mean it's not showing up in a new light. Yeah, more gets revealed. Yeah. And then when you see it that it's mechanical and there's no volition to it, in a way, because of this programming of being the doer, yeah, and the idea of choice, that programming sticks a lot of tails on a lot of shit, yeah. So that's why when people, they get guilty about selfing, yeah, that they've been selfing all day. No, that's not true. There is no one that did it, or there's no one that stops it. There's a doing of it and a stopping of it, but it doesn't have to do with a volitional you. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's mechanical. It gets triggered by whatever it comes in contact with. It's not what comes in contact with it. It arises after there's contact. Let's say some people would call it consciousness or awareness. Yeah, but first that occurs, and then in time, the mental state is made aware of something, and then it just claims it. Yeah, and then it just uses that to reinforce this identification with this idea that you're a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, which is the acquisition or the claiming of seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, thinking, doing, all that. Yeah, yeah. And then the interested attention, almost in a way, because it's presented as you, becomes, it's like, something that was able to free range is now destined to stay in a very small field of possibility. And it just runs around that little field, not seeing a whole lot, really. Yeah. So I'm happy that it's working.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I noticed is that right now I'm able to notice, it happens only when I'm under duress, then it becomes very obvious. It's not like all the time. I don't know, maybe this will expand slowly, but when I'm really under a lot of fear or a lot of anxiety is when this just becomes very clear to me. And so the fear also, it doesn't have that kind of grip to it anymore. Yeah. But yeah.
But the point too, in my feeling, you're not going to be a sentinel or a vigilant one. You lose interest in the whole thing. You see it when you see it, but you know it all the time. Yeah. Yeah. You see it when you see it, but you know it. There's been a being convinced, let's say. So Yeah. It's not, it doesn't, you don't take a new role of the sentinel or the thing, witnesser or whatever. I don't feel that. I feel there's a real, you get released from a lot of that made up tension. Yeah. And you just live the day. Yeah. The best you can. Now, I have it easy, but maybe they go hand in hand because I'm not working a 9 to 5 job and trying to, produce things other people want. I'm just hanging out. So
I'm doing my best to emulate you, Paul. I also not working, hanging out, not doing any meditation, just doing nothing.
good. Well, good. It's not for the yeah. Follow. There's a drum playing. You follow the beat, hon. Yes. Everyone has a beat assignment, and there'll be you'll recognize it after you sit down in it. Yeah, and then let's say there's 2 possibilities as an action figure. You can be taken care of, or you may not be taken care of. Why not just entertain being taken care of? I mean, just lean that way if you can. I mean, if it's a leaning, just lean that way. And then also, you'll know the tree by its fruits. If you've come upon principles and those principles have been sound and they don't need any crutches or constantly reinforcing it, they're pretty sound and you live by them or they direct you, then you come to believe, that something has done for you what you can't do for yourself. I like that kind of story for the action figure. I like the idea, like in Sufism, where people who are and were very, very clear that there was no thing. We're calling that no thing the beloved. Yeah, it's a beautiful way of imaging it to live as an action figure. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to paint if you were living in a canvas? Yeah, why would you want to just make a huge 0 and just go into the absolute void? No, you would like to paint and be an art project, I would hope. Yeah. So I love the idea of obviously it's us anyway, but that there's an aspect that was hidden seemingly or unsuspected that has become, and I can't see it, feel it, taste it, touch it, or smell it, but it's the most intimate thing in this life to me. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, and you'd like to express it, but it's no need to express it. It's expressing through us. So you're sharing it as you, really. You don't have to try to be specific. It comes out. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. What amazed me is that stopping the meditation has been great. Like I used to meditate a lot before.
Yes.
I don't miss it. I feel my mind is pretty quiet, a lot more, without any effort. So thank you so much.
Exactly. See, there's a statement in recovery. We have 12 steps of program, and basically the goal is a spiritual awakening. So therefore it's already met. You are a spirit, but whatever. And so one of the steps is seek through prayer and meditation to improve one's conscious contact. Yeah. So a lot of people get caught up in the prayer and meditation, but the intent is to improve one's conscious contact. Now, realizing that you are the conscious contact, I would think that would be a very nice way of improving the conscious contact. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of times people get caught in some of the suggestions of maybe a way to improve something, but why not find you are that something? Then there's the being of it will be the way of maintaining it, so to speak. Yes. If I am a condition, being aware of that would be the maintenance of that condition. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to do so much shit to maintain the condition. I would be being that condition, no matter how it appeared in my head's view or what my head said. Yeah, I'm being that. So to me, that's the highest form of maintenance, is to be a spiritual condition, not to have one, but to be one. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be kind of hard to ask for anything, you know, if you're praying, what do you ask for? You are that, right?
Yeah, yes. You pray for, maybe to be of maximum use to yourself and others,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you are the prayer, so to speak, at a certain point. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the head wants you always to be looking for a future arrival. You may be where you want to arrive right now. See, it doesn't like to see the already so-ness of the inherent condition. It has a desire that, yeah, I would love to become a saint, but being a saint, never. I'm too fucked up and shit like that. But becoming a saint, I could sign up for. Yeah. See, the head is always in an act of becoming and unbecoming, but it's never in an act of being, because it's not. It's not something that's being. It's an activity. Yes. Yeah. The activity is hoping to become what it wants to be and unbecome what it thinks it is. Yeah. It's always going through the patient. Yeah. Yeah. But it's totally into becoming, but not being. No, it has no interest in being. Yeah. It thinks it's being Paul already. So why would it be interested in being anything else? Yeah. 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 So see that you're not Paul, and then there'll be a sense that the immediacy is all, at first, it's very, it's like that story we used to use with the knock on heaven's door, and the person knocks on heaven's door and the door opens immediately and there's God, and it's very off-putting because he thought maybe God was at the 15th hole or something. It may take a little while to get to the door, but as soon as the door's hit, he's there. But that's the sense of that being is so immediate. Yeah. Yeah. Like you never catch it when it starts to beat. It's like a beating heart already, and maybe you hear a beat, but it's never was never not beating. Yeah. It's always there, always available at all times, right where you are, with no requirement necessary other than the ones we make up. People make up some doozies. How can a shit, a food eating, shit taking, physical, deodorant using thing purify? I don't see it. Seems to you seem like you start with your hands tied behind your back. Wait a minute. I've got to go through a purification. Jeez. All right. Well,
Thank you.
thanks, Anu. I'm so happy that yeah. Isn't it? See, this is the new logic. You're getting more relief from not meditating than meditating. This is the logic we're trying to imply. There's a logic, a seamless logic to this message. Yeah, and that's one of the demonstrations of it. Yeah, when you stop doing all this shit to feel good, you feel better usually.
Yeah.
And then, people tell, anytime you run into what really works, your little failed thought system says it's paradoxical. That makes no sense. Thank God it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the sense that you make is fucking senseless. It's crazy. Yeah. So when something really works, it's seen as paradoxical from a failed thought system. That's a mystery. No, it ain't. There's too much interest in what you're not. What you're not can't get uninterested in what you're not by trying to lose interest. That would be more interest in what you're not. Get clear about that. Something stops. You stop trying to, burrow or make a new door in that dead end, and then things change and you see something. Yeah. And then more and more gets revealed. Yeah. You go, oh, it's just obvious that my own vested interest is looking out for my best promotion. No, it isn't. Your vested interest is trippy, that I would probably do better with turning my life over to a lot of you than I ever did with my own life, because the vested interest in it is a mutating. It's a quality of mutation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So all these assumptions that I had about the direction of life and how it goes and who's going and what works, it was completely off base. Completely. Yeah. And most of it was supported by a mental logic that believes the cart is in front of the horse. Yeah. And you can get to the horse through the cart. So yeah, we had yeah. Common sense isn't that common, as they say, eh? Yeah. Like Zen says, there'll be a clarity, and then blue will be blue, red will be red. Yeah, things will be clear, simple. Won't be a big why around everything. Why? No, it's just blue is blue, red is red. Yeah, things come, things go. I feel good, I don't feel good. It's just on and on. Yeah, it's like this. We have a bumper sticker from a spiritual center. I go there just to get these bumper stickers, it says empty phenomena rolling on. That's a pretty good one. Yeah. Empty phenomena rolling on. I think I have one somewhere. Yeah. I usually buy all of them that they have and then sell them to people and give them to people. People stop me at the gas station. What does that mean? Empty phenomena rolling on. Voila. Us at the gas station.
That's pretty awesome, Paul.
Everyone thinks, well, there was a sighting of empty phenomena rolling on in 1999. No, right at this moment, that's what's happening. Empty phenomena rolling on. It's rolling down an incline called time. That's funny. All right, honey. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Paul, and everybody.
Who's this? Mary?
It's Julie.
Oh, Julie.
Mike just unmuted me.
Trying to find you. Oh, Julie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? So, this conversation is apropos to what's been on my heart, I guess. So, I guess I've changed a lot, actually, since I've been listening to you. I was a Buddhist practitioner for a very, very long time. Lots of meditation, blah, blah, blah. And like you guys were just saying, like the no meditation and just letting go of all the programming about spirituality and needing to attain something. But then here I sit in this body, in this time-space dimension, and I'm like, well, now what? Like, I don't really feel, I still have some programming about, feeling like I need to do something.
Yeah.
But I'm not motivated anymore. Like I used to want to save everybody, And now I'm like, the more I let that go, but then I'm like, okay, now what? Do I guess I have to get a job now because I need to eat food.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have a job and I still eat food. So I think I just needed to hear a little bit about like how we take care. I mean, I think it's what you were saying about the paradox or something. I don't know. It just seems to happen.
Yes. Well, I just talked to a man, Michael, from on WhatsApp today, from Australia, who's in the Dharma for 29 years and stuff like that. And you know, when that balloon popped, it's sad and stuff, because he wanted to save everyone, and the same. And these are noble things, but see, those ideas were claimed, and the mental state made up a Julie, yes? And now that part, for the real Julie to step out, there's no real Julie, but the imagery, that part has to, you got to take off that uniform, that wardrobe, yes? And sometimes the period of uncertainty, or when, the emperor has no clothes, the clothes are coming off, there's a period of discomfort, yes? But you're just being moved to another seat assignment. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, this happens to a lot of people, because there was a sense that what they were interested in was their life, was them. Yes. And then suddenly there's a questioning now of that interest in all that, and something, that rug gets pulled out from underneath us. Yeah. So it's uncomfortable. It doesn't matter to who or what, but there's a discomfort because there's familiarity, and then there's a sudden change and stuff like that. But the dance isn't over. Yeah. You're just being moved to, the music has come up. Yeah. You're getting evicted because maybe you wouldn't move off of that one seat, and you're getting moved to another seat. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
I guess too, but I feel like the seat just got moved to like some other storyline. You know what I mean? And now instead of it being
Of course, don't worry about that so much. This is the problem, because it's not volitional. Of course, the head is going to react to being in a new seat, and is going to spin a story. That's what it does.
Okay.
There's no volition. It's not doing it, Julie.
Okay.
Yeah? It's not. There is no person that's choosing that. Yeah. It's a mechanical thing. So you go from one way of life to another way of life. The narration, maybe goes up in the air because it's like a speed bump, but it starts driving down the fucking interpretive road, and, develops a new narrative. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you see it not from the object of the narrative, but the subject, you, from before it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just see they were different. Basically, they had different wardrobe demands. You had the Buddhist narrative. Now you're going to have the after Buddhist narrative. You'll probably have more colors, which is nice. You'll be able to wear different shit. Become a little more flamboyant, whatever, So there's you'll just get a whole new wardrobe in the new seat assignment.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've seen it a lot. I remember when I was, I wasn't good at much, really. I was a house painter, but basically I was even getting bad at that after a while. My partner was complaining about my shitty work and shit. It used to hurt the feelings badly, because that was the only hat I could hang anything on, I was a house painter. And so then I found spirituality, or seemingly, of course, this is a story, but I got a lot of value, self-esteem, as a spiritual seeker. I felt better about myself. Self felt better about self. Yes. So it had its value. Yet again, a thick crust grew on that new hole, you know, the something barnacleized, and it got, you know, once again, I got caught in that fucking mold. Yes. Yeah. And I remember when I went to that big sweat in Mount Shasta, and had never been in a sweat, and I got caught standing up in the sweat, and I was boiling, but I wouldn't leave because of my spiritual face. I didn't want to be the talk of the whole retreat. He's the guy who ran out of the sweat, you know, on Friday. I would have died. So, I mean, I had a lot of pride at the expense of my comfort, my life, really. So, you know, in that commerce, dealing with the mental state, you may get something, but you're going to lose a lot because there'll be a crystallization of that doing into the doer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there'll be a spiritual pride. That's a much trickier one. Yeah. And it calcifies. And then you get sort of, the mental state has such a huge investment in it. It doesn't want a solution. It thinks it has one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and so you've broken through that, and now you're free falling for a while. And like my friend said today, you know, that was his purpose of life. His heroic journey was to save, you know, all sentient beings and whatever like that. I said, well, just make up a fucking purpose, you know? You know what I mean? I make a purpose. I'm going to find some red pants at a thrift store. So I go look at a couple of thrift stores. Do I want the red pants? No, I just fucking have something to do. Like a little Don Quixote, but on a very mundane level. I couldn't write a blog about it or anything. So, you know, I go in the back and I say, I'm going to dig a hole, you know. All right, dig a hole. And you know, it's just like, whatever, you know, but I know the action figure does better for most of us to have a purpose. So yeah, make one up. Or do some service also. You can do service and shit now. You don't have to be a Buddhist to do service. Just make it present and available, so put it to use. Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you, honey, and stay with us. And yeah, you may go back to sitting quietly, but you won't be calling it anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like sitting quietly. That part I like. It's been a while now, and I think it was such an intense life for so long. And, you know, it's just funny. Now everything is kind of funny.
Oh, good. That's good.
No, yeah.
Well, you're coming off of something. It's like a drug addict.
It is. That's how I refer to it, as an addiction.
Yeah, there's some blind highs in spiritual seeking. Yeah. You know? I
do know.
Yeah, there's peak experiences. There's a lot of empty phenomena that seems wonderful. So yeah, there's an addiction to it. And so you're coming down, just like when, you know, when I used to shoot cocaine, one time I had a very bad event with it. It's something they call cotton fever. Something was in the water in the spoon, and I put it into the blood system. And it's a horrendous experience after 15 minutes or so. I mean, you'd never want to feel like that fucking again, I'll tell you. So I swore I wasn't going to do it anymore. I threw all the needles out of the car when my girlfriend picked me up. I couldn't even get to the buzzer to buzzer in. We were just, three of us got it. I went first, so I got it first, and we were just fucking helpless on the floor. She had to get the superintendent of the building to open the door. But when she was driving me back, I threw all the needles, and I swore, as much as I could swear, I'm never going to do it. and I went in I was bereft of any feeling for a few days. I couldn't enjoy fucking anything without drugs. Yeah. Stayed up 3 days, read the whole book, Nicholas Nickleby by Dickens, 1,200 pages. Didn't sleep, but I went back to the cocaine. Yeah. I was enslaved to it. And because I couldn't live, I didn't feel anything ever again. And it took me a long time when I got recovered in sobriety to actually feel shit, because I was bereft of feeling. All I knew was how to ring a bell and have a huge rush, and everything else was flat, fucking flat, very flat. And so sometimes when you leave something that's been so important, you go through withdrawal. It's just the way it goes, yeah?
Mhm.
And I don't see spiritual addiction as much different than drug addiction, really. In the formation of the mentality, it's not different at all, really. Yeah, so, yeah, so there'll be more purpose, other purposes. Things will come back, they always do. Yes, they do, yeah, yeah. Unless they don't, I don't feel that you're in that category. And with drug addiction, sometimes people have gone too far, like an alcoholic gets a wet brain, or you see some people with crystal meth, they're never the same again. They've overdone it, and now it's like a tattoo. They're fucked, no matter if they never touch it again. So thank God you haven't gone that far, nor have many of us. So yeah, thanks, Julie, for your share. It's funny, I talked about the same thing today to someone else. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. You're welcome, Julie. Thanks for your attendance.
Thanks, Julian. Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself, and I unmuted you with. I meant to introduce you. And now, JP.
JP.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give a little report, and also about it's about the selfing and the detectives. What's been happening is with the selfing and the detectives. I've been, it's being seen that sometimes there's 3 or 4 different detectives happening all at the same time, one after the other. And the negating, happens by itself. And after the negating is done, it's like there's just the void, the peace, who I am reality. And and there's not that much interest in the negating. It's not even that there's anyone doing the negating. The negating is kind of happening by itself, and then there's the peace, and then and then sometimes the peace lasts some time, and sometimes it's like something will come up and there may be some negating, or it may just be life, and but a lot of peace. It's like there's just a lot of peace going on at the moment, and one thing that's also been coming up, it's like the negating, and you talked about this earlier on about it's like I imagine, or there's this imagination, there's a seeming imagination that because you're within your skin and I'm within my skin, there seems to be some visual evidence that there's about this separate entity, this separate long-lasting independent entity, and there's negation happening on that level as well, and I just see it happening when it's like I'm talking to somebody, and there's there's the selfing going on. Oh, I don't like them, I don't like them, and there's just the negation is just happening by itself, and somehow it's like it's then I'm brought back to the seeming I is brought back to, well, it's not even the seeming I is brought back to, I'm brought back to myself, and that seeming separation is just not there. So yeah, just that's really what's going on. And but what I found really funny was this, the detective, it's like 3 or 4 detectives can show up, you know, within 1 or 2 seconds of each other. You know, it's like one gets negated, another shows up, that one gets negated, and then another one gives it a go. And then if he doesn't succeed, another one comes, you know, and but nothing has been sticking so much lately. It just has, you know, these detectives, they haven't been able to sell their show. So yeah, always good to be here. Always good to hear you, Paul.
Thank you, JP. Thanks for these reports. Yes. We had a show in America called True Detective. Yes. The show was better than the one up here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, bro. Thank you. All right, Mike. I maybe should put on another light. No.
Nice mood lighting. Looks
Yeah,
nice on
we
your
don't
hair.
have. Yeah.
Anybody else want to raise? Oh, it's still JP. Anybody else want to raise their hand? I think Kenneth is doing it in his square. Yeah, Kenneth? Hi.
Hi,
Okay.
sorry, Mike. I'm trying to raise my hand. It's not working here.
Huh.
Paul, I have a question regarding, you know, a lot of spiritual practice centers on afterlife, like getting out of cyclic existence,
Yeah.
or some kind of redemption from what we have done this life, and then whether we go to like according to Christianity, we go to heaven or to hell. So I'm like, and I heard a saying that says samsara is nirvana and nirvana is samsara. Is this where non-duality takes us to?
Yes. It doesn't take us there.
We are there.
Yeah, we're already there. Yeah. And the other thing is, I don't really think much about any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, about the, that's sort of like, you know, can you imagine if you ordered a couch and the company said it may take lifetimes to deliver the couch? I mean, forget the couch. I'll just get a futon or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know what's going to go on. I just I don't believe this is happening. Really, to tell you the truth. I believe the closest I get to what's so is in deep sleep. I really feel yeah.
It does create a lot of burden on an individual when they have that kind of concept, isn't it?
I would say so. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that brings out the perfection in people and shit. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's everything that gets claimed. It's not the thing that gets claimed, it's the claiming of the thing is the problem. Yeah. So we have right and wrong when it comes to doing. But see, the doing is the doing, but the real bondage is of the doer. Yeah. So if there's a working towards having a better future life, far out. If it's you working towards having a better future life, I would question it. Yeah. Because then those actions that you hope were leading to a future life are being claimed without us knowing it. And so now you are that presupposed person that's shooting for a better life next time. Yes?
Yeah.
That's the bondage right now in this life. Forget about what's going to happen in the next life. That's the bondage of self now. Yeah? I would think, you know, get out of the fire you're in than with, working towards, getting out of a future fire. I see more value in getting out of the fire that you're in right now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they talk about non-doing, it's not doing anything. It's that it's doing something without the identification as the doer. Yeah. So there's doing without the doer, which is the fact, actually. Yeah. It's not like a yeoman Herculean task. It's actually what's happening. There's just doing without a doer. So it's just seeing the clarity of what already is. It's not, going against a huge current and swimming upstream. No, you just see how things are. There's, like supposedly Buddha said that, events happen, deeds are done. What would, events happen, deeds are done, yet there's no individual doer thereof. That's the sort of the freedom of the bondage of self. What you're doing isn't leading to the freedom of the bondage of self. It's seeing there's not a doer is the freedom of the bondage of self. Yes?
Okay.
What you do or don't do could be arbitrary. You can't say this is always bad if it's done and this is always good if it's done. Yeah, it has a lot of leeway in there. But that sense of being the doer, yeah, is trying to be arrived at by the claiming of whatever is being done. Yeah, whatever is being done is being claimed by the mental state to imply that there's a doer of it. That's really the bondage. This life and next life, so to speak. Yes. So if you're hoping to deal with something or have a better condition next life, ask who is it that wants that better condition? Is that you? If it ain't you, maybe you'll have a better condition in this life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the immediacy of the solution. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I'd hate to have it on a lay. All right. Lay away nirvana for 40 years of work, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
I like you, Kenneth. Thank you. Thank you for coming here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kenneth. Can I maybe ask quickly, do you think that there could be working for a better life, quote unquote, better life without the me being involved? And what would be
For
better?
sure. Yeah.
What would be better? As opposed
Well,
to
yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, as opposed to like recognizing, appreciating something more now, maybe that'll lead to better, right? But you can't ask for better without appreciating now.
Yes.
In that sense, I guess you could say you could be working towards a better life by asking to be able to appreciate now better. I was just wondering, sometimes I get confused when, the verbs and noun doing, doer.
That sounds like a slogan from 1984. We're all working for a better life. Yes. I've never had that sentence in my head, actually.
Working for a better life?
For a better life. Hmm?
A lot of people do, though.
I've never had that sentence in my head till today. As far as I know. Working for a better life. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
See if, yes. That flavor of humility is, someone who's in a state of humility isn't stating they're in a state of humility, it's just, I think there's an observed life, but then the observing of the observed life goes into another place. Yeah. I think part of living is observing life, but then there's the observing of life. That's where things get dicey, I feel. Yeah. But yes, there would be no working towards a better life without a someone. Who would be doing that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wondered.
Yeah, but you could have a feeling the stream of the dreaming was always working to a better life. You know, that's how some people believe that they're always saying, well, this is the moment, you know, we're moving towards more consciousness. There's going to be a collective consciousness, and therefore all things are going to be better and things, yeah? Or like the idea of dreaming oneself out of the dream gets happier. Yeah. So maybe we're actually being used in the working to a better life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, like being available. That's why that's so great. So you have no idea what's better. But if you're more
Well,
available, then, you know, you might seem to make something better for yourself and others, you know, as a nice little story, right?
well, yeah, we've seen a lot of that, a lot of unintended consequences when people try to seem to make things better for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I think I'm getting it darker and darker in here. Anyone else?
No. No one their
Yeah.
hands.
We're all working for a better Zoom. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I want everyone to pull towards a better Zoom.
Oh, John R. has his hand up again. He had it up earlier.
All right.
Go ahead, John R.
I didn't hear from John R. I thought he was going to call me. John R.
Oops.
Hey, Paul. How you going?
Good. You?
Yeah, I tried to call the number, but it didn't get through.
Hey, something said
And but that was okay. I just listened to a couple of your stuff. You got it's all there on video anyway. I think. I do have. You hear me? Hello, can you hear me now?
there. You got to try again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that had spoken to me after the meeting the other day. It's very supportive. I tried calling you, but I couldn't connect with the number, but it seems to be that's okay. I just listened to a couple of your YouTubes and I don't know, it settles again. Yeah, but I do have a question now. You're on about bumper stickers and that. I got something that came up that I just don't understand. It's a Course in Miracles, and it's the major difficulty that you find in genuine forgiveness on your part is that you still believe you must forgive the truth and not the illusions. That just goes straight over my head. Can you unwrap that a bit?
Can you say that again? Because I got it. I got a little lost at the end.
The major difficulty that you find in genuine forgiveness on your part is that you still believe you must forgive the truth and not the illusions.
Yes, yes. Well,
I don't get it.
The only thing, yes, because at that point, you're forgiving the illusions as if they were true. And it's just clearing up. It's just saying you're thinking you're forgiving the truth, but they're actually you're forgiving the illusions. Yes.
So it's not happening.
Well,
it's just not happening.
You're seeing the illusions as the truth. As far as you know, I haven't gone over that, Satan. Just what came up. Yeah. So it sounds as if the person's his attempt to forgive is still based on the belief that the shit really happened. Yeah, that it's true. Where that's why in the Course they talk about there's no perfect forgiveness because of this place. Yes, because the fact is the true state is atonement, which means a seeing that nothing ever really happened to be forgiven. Yes. So there's no perfect forgiveness from the Course in Miracles view here, because this is an illusory event. Yes.
Yeah. So does that mean? Sorry.
Hmm?
Does that mean that I lost track there? it can't be happening because the false self is the one that's offended. And as that doesn't exist, what's to offend?
Exactly.
Is that what it means?
That would be the microcosm, and then there's the macrocosm. Yes. But yes, so there's the drive to forgive is taking something to be true in a weird way. So the idea of atonement would be the seeing everything as an illusion, so to speak, where the atonement is there's nothing to forgive because nothing ever really happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the different possibility. So if you want to use the word no perfect forgiveness, but the atonement would be perfect because yes, there's not a belief in, I think the Course talks about there's no degree in illusion. It's either an illusion or not. It's not a big illusion or a small illusion. It talks about miracles. There's no big miracles and small miracles. There's just miracles. Yeah. And they use the same thing, I believe. I don't read the Course, so don't throw it at me. But from my memory, the idea of illusion, it ain't and it ain't. Yeah, it's not big or small or a little bit of illusion and a lot of bit of illusion. It's either an illusion or what. Yes. So basically, that drive for perfected forgiveness has a fault in it because you're still taking the illusion to be true. Yeah. Yes. So this is about that, I would say, but I haven't looked at it or I didn't give much thought to
Mate,
it.
I don't even know.
But
It came up as like a bumper sticker type thing. I don't know if the Course in Miracles actually even says it. I just assume it did because it's supposed to.
If it is the Course, I would think
that.
Same thing with perception. They don't believe there's any perception. The true perception is that there's no true perception. That's like the best way you get. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
thanks, Paul.
remember, the Course in Miracles would say what this world entails is dreaming. There's a dreaming. Yeah. There's a dream separation, and then all these other possibilities that are truly impossible seem to be possible based on separation, and it goes on and on and on and on. And then there's a very interesting thing about the holy relationship where you see what you're looking for yourself as the other. Yes. So there's it's a very trippy download, the Course in Miracles, for sure. But it doesn't come from here, I don't believe. I just don't. It's just too weird. It's got a cadence, so when you speak it aloud, it has a certain cadence, almost as if it's a chant that affects the brain. It's a very trippy phenomena. No empty. As the page is rolling on. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Yes. See, if you had perfect forgiveness and illusion, it would be imperfect because you'd be taking the illusion to be true. And that's something actually really happened to forgive. So obviously, perfect forgiveness has an imperfection in it. Yeah, so that's what they were. I feel that's.
So it's.
Yeah. So atonement is.
It's different. Back to what you say. You could. Yeah. I'll look it up. Thanks.
Yeah. Nice.
I'll look the word up. I have some kind of understanding what it means, but I better check. I didn't make it up.
Well, look it up in the Course. Atonement means different things. But in the Course in Miracles, I think the atonement implies there's a recognition that nothing ever really happened here. So there's nothing needed to be forgiven. Yes. So you're just like the whole idea of that you didn't separate yourself from the Godhead. Yeah. So this guilt that keeps floating everywhere is based on this premise that you really made a big
Yeah.
mistake and you separated from the Godhead, and now you have a huge amount of remorse. And this whole event here is in a sort of dump that remorse any way you can, or guilt, but it's based on an assumption that's not true. That there's you're alone and a separate entity. Yes. So
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is why, if you get down to the basis of things, the life that's given to other things either gets stopped or weakens. Yeah. If you become clear about the basic situation, all the other situations that seem so unclear will they'll clear up on themselves, not by themselves, but by you. Yeah. It's best, that's why they always talk about getting to the root. If you want to affect the tree, you're not going to do that. You'll do it temporarily by taking some leaves off, but you're not going to change anything really. But if you get to the root, yes. So what is the root we're speaking of? Being ourselves reality and having that absolutely not mirrored in the behavior and in the perception and in the taking of this place. Being ourselves reality is not a big player in our interpretation of this place. It just isn't. Yeah. I mean, seriously, what we're not isn't seeing everything from that point of view. So this is the beauty of non-duality. It negates everything that comes after it. It's gorgeous, very gorgeous, really. It's so, it's just beautiful, pristine and beautiful. Gets right to the point by negating assumed points. Yeah. I'm in wonder and awe of it. I love it. I love I never met anything so direct and so unforgiving, and it doesn't sort of morph to fit around your understanding. It actually brings your understanding into a stark contrast, and then there's a reckoning, really. What you thought was true isn't. Yeah. Hallelujah. Yeah. And being the thinker of the thoughts of true and not true ain't. Yeah, that's even more deeper. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't even question the basis you think you're on. It questions the idea of the one who thinks they're on a basis. It's pretty, it's when it's done, there's nothing left. That's the gorgeousness of it.
It's kind of like a unique thought, one that I could have never have come up with.
Yes, exactly. That's why, thank God, we're introduced to it. The potential was there, but it wasn't being lit up. We needed an invitation. May have been a traumatic event, may have been a lightning bolt of whatever, or maybe satsang. But somehow, in a way, a lot of us need to hear it before we start hearing everything. Yeah. And so there we go. Have the joy of sharing it. Yeah. Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Man. Isn't it refreshing just to hear something and you have no homework? There's nothing you got to do afterwards. Yeah. Don't send me a test. There's no grading. We don't have belts, black belt, green belt, We're not moving for a bigger, better emptiness. It's just it's like stop, disarm, halt, pause, get going. That's all really, a huge shift can happen in a nanosecond. It doesn't need any time. It plays out over time, and that's the fun of getting together. Yeah. You say some things that get me stirred up. I may say something because it's not you and I, it's the same mind. Yeah. Yeah. Hallelujah. It's really cool. And it's working through this system called Zoom, which blows my mind. Really blows my mind. I love that I don't have to look for parking and get here about 5 seconds before. Never have to wear a pair of pants or shoes. Freaking, it's great. Though I love the live meetings, obviously. There's nothing like a live meeting, but hey, this is pretty sweet to the attendees. What pants? I don't have any.
I just have to thank you there, Paul, that you don't wear a robe and whatever else. There's no bullshit. And I'm so grateful for that the message was heard from you and not in any other as well. And that's the gratitude.
Well, there's a little niche for irreverence. We have a little niche, so we're like safely encased in there. Yeah, I never liked it so much when the person would have a picture of Rama and flowers on a table, and if Rama was alive, he wouldn't recognize the person from fucking Adam. Like, why do you have my picture on the table for? Yeah. So I didn't like that stuff either that much. It didn't bother me, but yeah. It's nice. It's whatever. Yeah. So
this is still a great community though. Thank you.
I tried to love and gaze, but after 20 years of heavy cocaine use, I just looked fucking crazy. It didn't work.
I'm hearing you. Scary. Yeah.
We're getting scared. I start gazing too long. It's fucking crazy. So no. I do best in like dim lighting. It's nice. Yeah. So Cole, turn those high beams down. Yeah. All right. Thanks, John. Let's anyone else, or we'll just end up the story tonight.
Yeah, no more hands. Thanks. Although that reminds me, did you check with the church about the new room?
I did. We can't have it.
Really? Oh, bummer.
No, that's the choir room, and he got mad about the lady letting us in there.
Oh wow.
They don't like anyone in the choir room, so we're gonna be back in the other. It's gonna work out, bro. Yeah. I tried though. Yeah, I talked to him. I don't know, was it yesterday or whatever? Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, everyone. Hey, Vlad, nice to see you, my friend. Yes. We got John K, Tommy from Ireland. We got Kenneth from Vancouver. We got Anu. Always nice. I love saying that name, Anu. It's awesome. Anu. We got Art from New Mexico. Yeah. Gary has left the corner a long time ago. He's out. He's out in the dark now. Yeah. He's the brightest thing in the background. That's pretty cool. We've got Mary G. She's chilling out. Always available to be available to others. Very nice. We got Stefan on having never left. Great pleasure, Stefan. Really, I really appreciate everyone's space here, everyone's presence. Zlatko and Janine, thank you. I maybe hopefully get to see them live on Saturday. If I'm lucky, it would be nice. Yes. We got Alex. Wait a minute. Alex and Jacob. Whoa. Alex and Jacob. Are you in the same location? Oh, fantastic. Now that's awesome. You're not in Seattle, you're in Hudson Valley? Hudson Valley? Oh, good. Fantastic. Very good. Yes, awesome. Strange things happen in these Zooms. That's very good. We got Linda S. Nice to see you, Linda. She's been a globetrotter. She's back now, or where? You're still in Hawaii?
No, I'm actually in San Bernardino right now.
San Bernardino. Freaking Linda gets around.
You bet.
We got Clifford from Chiang Mai.
Hey, Paul.
I really had a lot of fun. I liked being in Chiang Mai a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed a lot
Yeah, I hear. Yes.
because the world has changed a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Paul, you know that you was talking about the cadence in A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
Because I studied it for a number of years, and there's a few Helen Schuckman, who was like, let's call her the author. She was into William Shakespeare, and that probably had an influence on the not so much the cadence but the beat, which is iambic pentameter.
Yes.
You know, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? When you say it in the beat, it sounds rubbish, but when you say it as language, shall I compare thee to a summer's day, it kind of flows.
Yeah.
And it's easier to receive.
Yes. It was
Yeah.
always better to read the course aloud with people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now, who would have thunk of it? That's the whole point.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it goes somewhere that you don't know exists, and then you find out it exists.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I mean,
it
like,
always has.
oh, your house is like a mansion with many
Yeah,
rooms.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
We tend to like hang out in the closet or something. Yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's great. I like that.
Mm.
And we have Taj. Nice to see you, Taj. Once again, I like when Taj drops in. Julie, yes. Yeah. Yeah. John W. Nice to see you, John. Yeah. Let's see who else here. Oh, we've got. Oh, here they are. We got Ashley from Dallas. We got Miss Amelia. She's from Novato. She's going home soon to Pescara, Italy. Yeah.
Honey, you need some light in that room.
I know. Yeah, but I don't want to get up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to come and put it on?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying goodbye. Saying goodbye. I'm fading out. Yeah. I don't want to bring myself into stark contrast. Yeah. Yeah. No. We got Stacy. Nice to see you, Stacy. All's well in LA? Oh, good. Good. Say hello to your family for me. Yes. So we got Ashley, we got Miss Amelia, we got PK from Long Island. Very nice, PK. Oh, wait a minute. We got who's this here? Oh, Nick. We got Nick and another character. I think I met that character at dinner a few times. Ah, yes. Did you get that book there, Nick? That Erase the Ego?
Yeah, I'll bring it by Saturday.
Yeah, I need to read that one page. Just rip
Yeah.
that out for me.
Right on. I got one for you too, Mike and Chris.
Thanks.
We got Brandon Voigt, one of our great minstrels. Yeah, music up. Nice to see you, Brandon. Oh, we have a guest appearance from Hari, our friend from Portland. Yes, she is. Hari, how are you?
Oh, hey, Paul, I just got out of work. Catching the end of your thing.
All's well?
Yeah, good.
Good. Nice to see you, honey. Give us a call.
Okay, I'll do it.
Amelia's right here, right outside. All right.
All right. All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
We got Jim somewhere. Oh, Jim. He's left the boxes. We've got Susanna W. Hey, also Suzanne or Susan, thank you so much, Matlock M, for your generous donation. It goes a long way to keep the lavish lifestyle shining. Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Really, very much. Very appreciative. We got. Thank everybody, and I'm looking for Mark V too. I want to thank him, but I don't think he's here tonight. So I think maybe I'll have to write him a letter. So all right, thanks everyone. Nice to see you. Sorry, Hari, we're pulling the plug.
Oh, it's fine. No, I was actually watching on the other thing on Facebook for like the last 20 minutes or so.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Got a good riff out of it. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, and I'm gonna have to update the website. I think I was putting up meetings past the 16th. So Monday is the 16th. So 14th is the last meeting.
It's the 26th we're leaving, August 26th,
Okay. That's
and
a
then
Thursday.
we come September 16th. So
Okay, so Wednesday the 25th will be the last meeting.
I think so. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You'll do the night before. Okay.
Not the last meeting, but yeah, we'll have
I mean,
it temporarily suspended. Hopefully not the last meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the recovery and Saturday for the non-duality. Thanks so much, everyone.
All right, good night,
Thanks,
Paul.
Paul.
Thanks,
See you.
Paul.
The room stays open, so just if you want to stay hang around, I think Mike is going to be there, right, Mike?
Yep.
All right, great. I'll see you guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.